A new survey of people around the world finds that climate change and ISIS are listed as the two top global threats to national security. Pew Research conducted the survey of people in 38 countries. 8 different threats were presented as options. ISIS was chosen as the #1 threat by people living in 18 countries, including much of Europe, the United States, and the Middle East. Climate change was chosen as the top threat by 13 countries, including several in Latin America and Africa. Tied for third, cyber attacks from other countries and the condition of the global economy. Now, here in Canada, those polled chose climate change as the top threat, followed by ISIS, cyber attacks, and the power and influence of the United States. Jacob Poushter is a senior researcher with Pew Research Center. He joins me now. Good morning. Welcome to our program.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Why is it important to ask the public what they see as top national security concerns?
Well, we ask a lot of questions on our spring survey, such as the image of the United States, how people feel about their own economic condition, and we think that global threats is an important way to gauge what people around the world are worried about in their own countries and across the globe.
What's the most significant change that you have seen from previous reports?
Well, one of the biggest changes we've seen is that more people now name U.S. power and influence as a major threat. Across the 30 countries which we surveyed in 2013 and 2017, 38% now say that the U.S. Power and influence is a great threat, compared to 23% in 2013. And in Canada, it was 23% in 2013, and now that's 38% who say that U.S. power and influence is a major threat.
Have you done any analysis on that as to why people around the world feel that way now?
Well, we know from our previous research about U.S. image that since the end of the Obama presidency and the beginning of the Trump presidency, views of the U.S. have fallen in many countries, favorable views of the U.S. And we also found that there's less confidence in the U.S. president than there was in 2015 and 16. So it's probably the case where people are less favorable towards the United States, and there's a corresponding increase in those who say that the U.S. power and influence is a major threat to their countries.
Let's talk more about Canada. And obviously, we are one of those countries that has some fear about the Trump presidency and what that may mean for us here in this country. What about the environment? What about global warming? And, of course, ISIS? What do Canadians think about those threats?
Yeah, so Canadians are most concerned about climate change. 60% say that it's a major threat to their country, but they're also concerned about ISIS. 55% say that ISIS is a major threat. And the third number is cyber attacks at 47%. But the fourth greatest threat to Canadians is U.S. power and influence at 38%. And more people in Canada actually say that the U.S. is a threat versus Russia and China. So there is that difference there.
So what do you do with this research now, Jacob?
Well, we look at it, how it changes from year to year. We know that climate change has generally been one of the top concerns for people across the world. Since the last time we did this research, views of the global economy as a major threat have actually declined, probably because of the increase in the global economy. It's getting a little better. And so we hope to go back and ask this question again in the future and see if people's threat perceptions have changed because of what happens in the world.
Jacob Poushter, senior researcher with Pew, thank you so much.